Hi everybody, welcome to the latest in the series of videos of me documenting the progress in building the model railway, or model railroad if you prefer, an American version, in the basement here. So this one will be entitled Electric Thomas, follow on the one that I did before showing the Clockwork Thomas that we had rushing around the track at great speed. And you can probably see that here we have the electric version of Thomas making his way around, which he's been doing for about the last 30 minutes since I finally got the whole thing wired up. So this may look like it's a double track, but in fact it's actually just one long single track. The train is able to reverse itself in this set of crossovers here. One day I'm going to have to figure out how to stop trains crashing into each other as they go through the crossover, but for the moment, that's not really a problem because we only have one train running. This locomotive is one we bought, I think, probably about 30 years ago, made by Hornby in the UK, when Richard was a boy. And I basically took it out of the box a few months ago and to see if it would work, and as you can see it runs rather nicely. So I calculate Thomas is probably doing about scale 30 miles an hour, and it's taking him just about 5 minutes to get around the track, which means that I probably have something close to 2.5 miles of actual track. And you can see that this part is different now since the last video that I did. I put some extra track work in so we can actually park 4 trains, which is basically what I have at the moment. But the next thing I need to do is to actually nail down a lot of the track to make sure that it actually works properly. Most of it is just lying there loose because I had to remove a lot of the track pins that I put in when I was doing the electrical work. But as you can see, Thomas is going quite smoothly, and most of the track seems to be pretty good already, which I'm very happy about. And the reason I'm using Thomas is this is actually the most reliable locomotive that I have. I don't think it's been run very much, and if you're asking, no, this is not going to be a Thomas the Tank Engine themed railway once it's done. Planning to make it, base it on a period in around about the early 1960s, which is in the United Kingdom, which were the days when my brother and I used to go train spotting. And for those who are curious, the gauge is British 00, which uses the same track as the more well-known HO, which is what's common here in the United States. The difference being that the scale, I think, is 1/76th instead of 180 something. So the trains actually appear to be a little larger. And there's a very well-established industry in the United Kingdom producing all kinds of rolling stock. Probably about a dozen different manufacturers are active, and some of them are extremely detailed and hopefully very reliable. So Thomas I don't think it's made it all the way around once. I'm not sure how long this video is so far. But as I said, the next stage is to nail all the track down, and then we'll get out the other 3 trains that I have and see how they work. But I think we're going to certainly need some more trains. So here's a shot of the electrical work that I did. The track is actually divided into 18 sections. So one day I ought to be able to run, I believe, theoretically 15 trains on the track at the same time. I don't own 15 trains, so we've got some way before we get to that. Anywho, I'm going to stop the video now because it's probably getting kind of boring, but as you can see, Thomas seems to be quite happy making his way around what's probably the longest track he's ever had to run on. Bye.